Hello, my international professionals. Here is Storani, your international career consultant, and this is my channel where I bring professionals, successful professionals in the channel to help you progress your international career. And today we have a live with me and Shona, which is our operational manager and also our senior career consultant in Storani Careers to talk about LinkedIn.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Thanks for giving us your time this evening.
Thank you very much, Shona, for being here again. I'm loving
Pleasure.
it.
So am I. It's our little date on a Monday.
Yes, I know. So I'm going to go live on my Instagram here.
Perfect. I hope
So
everyone watching had a good weekend and is ready for a motivated week ahead, productive week ahead.
Yes. So let me see here. So I can call, like everyone to the live.
Hello, Lillian. Welcome. Good evening. Good afternoon, where you are.
Hello, Lillian. How are you? We have Glaucia. Hello.
Hello, Glaucia.
YouTube live.
Hello, Jessamine, Danielle.
LinkedIn. Hello. About LinkedIn. So then whoever is looking, it's...
Oh, hello to Amsterdam.
Yeah, Amsterdam. We have, yes, Danielle from Amsterdam.
Hello.
All right. Danielle, are you working in Amsterdam? Like, what's your focus now? I'm interested to know. Hello from Brazil. We have Brazil.
Hello.
We have
beautiful Rio. Oh, such a gorgeous city, such a special place.
Rio. We have Stefania. Hello, Stefania. Hello, Caio from Dublin. Very good, very good. We have people from all over the world.
And it's so nice to see.
Shani from Paris.
Yes, amazing. From grey, rainy Paris this evening.
Very good. So, guys, this live is actually to answer your questions, to give a little bit of insights about LinkedIn, about a job hunt using LinkedIn. All right. So don't be afraid to send your questions across. That we will be surely answering you all. Okay. So today me and Shona, we decided to answer how can I say? So I answer one question and Shona answers the other question, So everyone gets to talk because I talk a lot, particularly.
It's one of your strengths, Tana. Don't worry.
Look, guys, Shona has took care of my profile. She's amazing. Woo-hoo!
Oh, thank you. Such a pleasure working with you.
Good feedback. It's so
lovely seeing all the familiar names popping up as well, guys. It's always so nice to think the relationship continues long after the service has finished.
Exactly. Daniel is like, yep, I'm living and working in Amsterdam as a QA manager. Nice. At ABN.
Very good.
But we've recorded a live interview for your channel when I was living in Prague. Jesus, Daniel, you are the one living in Prague. You're now in Amsterdam. Oh my God, another client.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Collecting stamps on your passport, Daniel. Well done.
Yes. So, all right. That's myself. So let's start with LinkedIn, okay? Guys, just send questions to us. The first thing I want to give you a heads up is, how do you approach recruiters? That's the question, that open up our live today. And it's really important for you all understand that you have two types of recruiters, okay, in the market. All right. So you have the recruiter or talent acquisition or recruitment specialist from companies. Okay. So those guys work for the company itself. So they work in the recruitment team or the HR team. They are the one responsible for hiring and hiring freezing in the company. And they are the ones that actually interview you. Okay. Then you have the recruitment consultant. The
Yeah,
recruitment consultant works in the agency. All right. Recruitment agencies, they are not the company. They don't have the position. Okay. So the company has the position, and they use recruitment agencies as a service provider for the sourcing, which means this recruitment consultants do not interview you for sure, like for real. They actually pre-screen your profile to understand if your experience, your English, and everything, your skills match with the job the client it's asking for, and then they will send your profile to the company, and the company will decide if interview you or not. Okay,
exactly.
which means we have two different approach there, right, Shona?
Absolutely, because you've got to look at one is working, if they're doing their job correctly, if agencies are doing their job correctly, they're there as a representative for their client, which is the company, but also as a representative for you. So that's it, almost as a middle ground between you and the client. Whereas if you're directly approaching an internal decision maker, well, that's quite different because they're the ones making the decision for themselves on behalf of the company.
Yeah,
You're no longer the product. So it's a very different approach.
exactly. I remember when I used to give an example to my clients before, not anymore, that they are the product, and some clients are a good product, and some other clients are a broken product. It's not bad product, it's just broken because it doesn't really fit the company
Mm.
requirements. And then I remember there was a lot of people saying that I tell, like people that they have broken,
Oh
experience.
no. Oh, not at all. Yeah, but I get the comparison that you were trying to make, and it's an interesting way to do it. But I think when we're maybe looking at job seekers, they might feel a bit fragile and take it the wrong way. But
Yes, they
remember as
did.
well with age, but remember, guys, there was a big boost in the industry for recruitment agencies that happened just after the boom. So when we go back to 2006, 2007, all of a sudden, Dublin and most cities became saturated with recruitment agencies, and they popped up really quick. Some of them are amazing. Others have earned a bad reputation. And I think that's where sometimes there can be a lot of mixed understanding as to who they are, what they do. Should you work with them? Should you not? A lot depends on your profile, the industry. Is it one that actually uses them to begin with? And the reputation of the industry. So it's or the reputation of the agency. So it's always important to do your homework before you just hand your profile to anyone. That would be what I would think personally.
Yeah, actually, that's a very good point, Shona, because the agency reputations, it's directly linked with the talent management, with
Exactly.
best practices.
Yeah, exactly.
Because what happens is, my sister again, kisses
Oh,
sister. So you have to understand, my international professionals, recruitment agencies, they have most, I'm not saying all of them, but like let's put like
a
80%.
lot.
A lot, yeah. 80% of them have a bad reputation in
Yeah,
regards to talent management.
yeah,
What do you mean of talent management, Tana? Like, for example, they contact you, they call you, and they go through like, all the job with you, and they promise the position, or they promise to send your CV to the company, and then you're
yeah,
very excited. You're like your motivation goes up in the sky, and then suddenly this person disappears, doesn't answer your
yeah,
emails, doesn't answer your messages on LinkedIn anymore, and you feel frustrated.
yeah,
So this is talent management. So in recruitment, when you work for a good company, a well-known and prestigious company, the recruitment team have a lot of care in regards to the
Yeah,
talent management. So,
exactly.
yeah, right? So you see companies like LinkedIn, Google, PayPal, these big multinationals, they always send a message to you, regardless if you passed or not in the interview. If you didn't pass
Mm,
in the first pre-screening, you will always get an email saying, like, unfortunately, you haven't been shortlisted for this position. However, you can check on our career web page, yada, 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 yada. This is
mhm.
good practice, right?
Yeah.
But the recruitment agencies, they don't have it.
Sadly, as Tana said, if you're in a reputable agency, and guys, by doing some research online, you'll find out who those are. Equally, if you're working with us as well and you're uncertain, you can always ask us, what do you think? Does this seem legitimate? What are your thoughts on this? We're always happy to share that with you. But
Yes,
it's about being careful, because your profile can be a commodity. Remember that you represent a bonus. If they place a great candidate in a great role, that represents a bonus for them. So anytime someone is like, if they call you and promise you the moon and the stars, you're allowed to ask questions. When is the decision due to be made on the role? Can I have your name, your personal contact detail? When will you follow up with me? If you're allowing them to use your profile, because like I said, you represent a commission for them, then you're
yes,
absolutely allowed to set in place some standards. When will they call you? When do you expect to know? And regular updates on the role. And don't be scared to ask for it.
yes,
Demonstrate your authority. It can be respectful and polite, but still demand the bare minimum when it comes to your how they manage your profile.
exactly, exactly. And we have here a question from
Mm-hmm.
Danielle. I've been recruiting QA engineers for my team. Amazing, Danielle. At my previous company here in Amsterdam, but focused in the later stages after the recruiters. Yes, that's normal.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the candidates approached me on LinkedIn, WhatsApp, and Telegram groups, or wherever I was sharing the positions. And these approaches were mostly poorly prepared. That's a very good point, Danielle.
Mm-hmm. Very, very good point.
Very good point. Today I have to tell you, I created a WhatsApp group, all right, here for Dubai jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and then I added, few two recruiters that are Brazilian recruiters that I got to know, like through LinkedIn,
Mm-hmm.
and one of them, she works in one of the biggest states real estate company here in Dubai, and
Mm-hmm.
she messaged like, "Hi guys, so I work in yada 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 company. I'm always recruiting to like a broad range of positions. If you're interested, get in contact." And then she messaged me saying, like, "Jesus Christ, Tana, everyone is just messaging me like, 'Hi, I need a job.'" No, it's not, "Hi, I need a job." Jesus Christ, this is such
Yeah.
a bad personal branding, such a bad
Yes.
approach.
Yeah, it is. It is. And that's the problem, is that, remember, recruiters, as busy as they can be, okay, and their inboxes explode. So you can be sure that on a daily basis, there are a minimum of 10 to 15 connections on a daily basis reaching out to them. Most people don't add value to their connections. So you've got to think, what is the point of this connection? Is it for network expansion? Is it for motivation for a particular role? What is your purpose? And state it in a way that adds value, because you're going in already at I guess, into competition from the moment you reach out to the recruiter, because more people are understanding that they need to. The problem is, most of them, as this gentleman said, most of them are going in wrong. So you need to go in with value.
Yes, so that was her, Sarah, and she messaged me and she said, like, "Oh my God, they are just saying like, 'Hi, I need a job.' It's not like, 'Hi, I need a job.'" So you have to, it's
Yeah.
your personal branding, it's your career. You have to have a different type of approach with recruiters in these big multinationals. Of
Absolutely.
course, even with the recruitment agencies,
Yeah.
but double careful, triple careful with recruiters, company
Yeah.
recruiters. All right.
Yeah.
So it's not only,
Absolutely.
"Hi, I need a job," or even, like as Daniel said, they, like contact him saying like, "Hi, can you do a referral for me?" Which a lot of our clients do. in our WhatsApp group.
Yes, true.
Yes. So what's your opinion with regards to that, Shona? What would be best practice for candidates to approach recruiters?
So I think the first thing, like I said, is to identify the purpose. Is there a live role, or are you reaching out for James? That is the most Irish approach ever. I love it. I love it. If only it were that simple. But yeah, I think understanding the motivation for your connection. So let's imagine if you're following up a live role. So obviously you want to make sure that you've done the necessary steps. You've followed the company. You've analyzed the description. You've bespoke your CV. Then you're connecting to the recruiter. You're sending them a message. You're saying it would be wonderful to connect with you and share insights. And I'm so excited to let you know that I've just submitted my application for this role. If you've any questions regarding my application, here's my contact number, here is my email address. I remain at your disposal. I would love the opportunity to speak with you. So that's about hunting a live role. Now let's imagine there is no live role, but it's a company that you really want to work in. So then it's about looking about, first of all, understanding, do they have a hiring need for people like you? So looking at past jobs that have been posted. Is it a huge organization with a good turnover, or is it a tiny little office that maybe does a recruitment drive once every 2 years? So know your audience going in, and then proposition with, look, I'm really passionate about the business that your company does. This is a little bit about my profile. I would love the opportunity to connect with you and share insights. I would not go in asking for a job if there's no live active role. Even if there is, I'd be very slow to use those words. But it has to be about adding value, sharing insight, reaching out to each other's network. There has to be value in the connection. Otherwise, it really does sound like you're knocking on a door with a cup out. And that's not the image. We don't want you to come off as desperate. That's not the goal here.
Or even what I like to do, okay, and I always recommend to my clients to do it during our career consulting time, is to check on LinkedIn and what are the teams they have. Okay, so let's say you are a product engineer, okay, and then go on LinkedIn, check other product engineers in this company. Are there product engineers in this company? Are there a product engineering team in this company? Do you understand? So yes, there are. Great. So you might not have now a need for hiring, but maybe in the future, right? So contact the recruiter and just share your motivation to be part of the product engineering team. So and then add value, as Shona said. How do you add value? How can your experience and skills add value? Check the latest technologies, innovations, or anything they're doing right now, and then show to the recruiter the experience you have or something you could bring to the team that can add value.
Yeah, absolutely. But it is about giving them something. You want to give them a taste of your profile to intrigue them, because otherwise it's very easy for your profile to blend into everybody else's.
Exactly. For example, in this case of Sarah, right? So what could a best practice approach be? All right. So instead of just sending her a WhatsApp message, hi, I'm looking for a job, go to LinkedIn, check her LinkedIn profile, check what she does. All right. Check what positions they have live now. Then message her, not like several messages like, hi, my name is, do you know in WhatsApp when people write and then send, write and then send, write and send? Don't do that. Write like a well-crafted message. Hi, Sarah, I came across your contact on Jobs in Dubai group, and you highlighted you are looking for several type of staffs. I checked your company's website and I could see this and that position really fits my experience. I have 8 years of experience in yada, 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 bachelor degree in this, and also I can start within 1 month. Please find my CV here attached for your review or consideration. Also, I'm sending you my LinkedIn profile. Let me know if you need anything or any further information in regards to my application. Kind regards. Amazing.
Perfect. Yeah, perfect. It's perfect. It's everything they want. It's easy. It's to the point. You're not asking for anything outright. You're actually giving, you're bringing the solution to them, which is, me, I'm the solution.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's add value.
Adding value. Exactly.
Yeah.
So we have other question here. Tana Shona, I'm seeking for opportunities in my area. Exporting, importing, doubling. And the most challenging part is how to message the recruiters, especially when some of them accept only LinkedIn premium messages. Is there any specific way to get to these recruiters?
Oh, so the LinkedIn Premium does offer recruiters somewhat of protection from influx messages. So that's why LinkedIn will really try and push you as a job seeker to purchase LinkedIn, because if it recognizes you're consistently reaching out to recruiters, then it's identified your need, which is to unlock doors. And that's the added value that LinkedIn Premium offers its clients, is that it allows you to unlock doors that otherwise I'm not really sure can be unlocked in any other way, unless you go looking at company websites, you try to find the email, you maybe make a guess if they're working at Johnson & Johnson and their name is John, maybe their name is John at Johnson & Johnson, and you start to play with email addresses. But really, that's where really old school sales approach to knocking doors. But yeah, LinkedIn Premium does allow that kind of visibility, and if even only for that, it is worth the investment while you're actively job hunting, in my opinion.
Yes, it is. Is worth it, Tana, buy the premium account? Yes, it's worth it because of that, because of the
exactly
emails, as they call, right? As it's the name, email. So, Caio, what I always suggest in this case, okay, every time you find a recruiter, one, try to connect with this person, to the recruiter. When you send a message, this message goes to the send messages. The recruiter will only see this message that you send through connection if accepts your request. Okay? All right. So that's one thing. Maybe the recruiter will accept your request, and then you will have the opportunity to open the messaging and then send a message and your resume. All right. Or you pay the premium account. So then you have, if I'm not wrong, 30 emails to send with document. All right. So you can
attach
the document. Exactly. Thank you. Then third thing you could do, that I always tell my clients to do, go to the recruiters posting part. So do you know when they post, like jobs, there's always jobs posted. There's always communication there. So what I say, like loads of posts. If you like loads of posts, the recruiter would check, like in the...
Who's liking.
Yeah, who is liking. And then we'll see your face, like, and then she might go, well, let me see who is this candidate. Why is liking all my posts? And then check your profile. And then like your profile, then contact you. Other thing you could do as well is start a conversation in the post, in one of the posts. Any post. Tana, but the position, let's say she posted a position that's not for me. It's fine. Write something like this. Hi, recruiter. Unfortunately, this position doesn't match my requirements, but I could see online in your career page that the other position does match it. And I have 10 years of experience. I'm very, very interested. Please don't hesitate to contact me. Don't ask for the job. You're not there to ask for a job. You're not a beggar.
Exactly.
Put yourself in that place.
Yeah. It's all about integrity, holding integrity for you and giving integrity to the job poster. And the more visibility you give yourself, as Tana said, looking at all posts, then you like them, you comment on them. Visibility. The recruiter will get curious. Who is this person who's very nosy on my page? Okay, they have these skills. Amazing. visibility is key, but in a way that gives integrity for both you, the job seeker, and the poster.
Exactly. So that's the best way for you to not kind of paying for the LinkedIn premium account. And
I think
there
it's
isn't much
worth.
else to do. There isn't much else to do, you know, like it's really trying to make the recruiter pay attention you in posting. You have to remember, like, people get familiar, you know, like get interested with familiar faces or familiar
Of
familiar
course.
actions. All right. So
Mm-hmm.
if someone every week, not every day, okay, so every week comments my posts, every
Mm-hmm.
week message me, or, you know, like, for example, you can repost a job this recruiter posted and say, hiring for Dublin, contact this recruiter. So the recruiter
Exactly.
will get a message that you reposted her job, and she will be
Yeah.
like, is he helping me? She knows why you're helping, because she knows you're
Of
trying,
course. But that,
you know.
once it's done smoothly, that's what it's all about.
Exactly. So I know, like, I have loads of followers. I know the followers that message me every week, you know,
Of
like,
course.
I know
Yeah.
their names, I know who are they, you know, like, it's
Yeah.
the same for recruiters.
Yeah. But
And once
consistency is key, isn't it?
consistency, it's consistency. And once their job comes up, you know, like they might go like, that guy that always texts me, what's his name?
Yes. Exactly, exactly. And keep an eye as well, guys, what groups they're in. If their page allows that kind of visibility, if you see what groups they're part of, it can always be interesting to join those groups as well. Because again, when they look at your page, the more you have in common, if you're connected to decision makers, hiring managers, for example, in the company already, and you're following groups that they're in, then there's that sense of familiarity again, that sense of, oh, we have things in common. And it's all about building subtleties in the relationship. So
Yeah.
pursue the relationship.
Like, so Danielle saying, viewing the recruiter profiles, reacting to their posts,
Yes.
leaving comments will also notify them. Very good. And then Sarah said, Danielle Carter, that's true. I give extra attention when someone says something about my post. See, Sarah is a
Mm-hmm.
recruiter, and that's just confirming what I said, you know, like,
Yeah.
she said, not for the like, but the fact they actually looked into my profile before
Mm,
approaching me.
yeah.
Again, the checking the recruiter's profile, it's so
Yeah.
important. It's so
Yeah.
important. Like when I used
Absolutely.
to work at LinkedIn, all right, when I used to be a recruitment coordinator at LinkedIn, I was recruiting for sales. The amount of messages I was getting, like,
Mm,
hi, I'm looking for a job in finance, I'm looking for a job in, I was actually offended.
yeah.
You know why? I was like, this candidate, this person, this ugh, didn't
Yeah.
even bother to check my profile.
Yeah, it's very true. The only time I've ever found it acceptable to receive an off sector is where someone, and it's happened to me, reached out and said, look, I understand, like when I was in recruitment before, I was looking after permanent roles for tourism and hospitality. And they said, look, I understand that you recruit on behalf of hospitality. However, I'm unsure who manages your sales sector. Can you pass on their details? And then I'm like, okay, that's fine. They're using me as a gate, as a doorway. That's totally okay. I can get on board with that. But they show the knowledge and understanding. I know you're not the right person, but I don't know who is. Can you help me? That's
Exactly,
slightly different.
exactly, Shona, exactly.
But
So
read
we
the
have
page, read the profile.
another question here, Luis. I always approach the engineering team leader after the approach. I'm forwarded to an interview with the recruiter. And today it's been
Yeah.
2 months since I've been in Chile working in in a multinational company. Very good, Luis. That's
Yeah.
something. That's another approach that I always suggest my
Yeah.
clients to do. The hiring manager.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah. If
hiring
you can
manager,
find it, it's golden.
yeah, because guys, you have to think. LinkedIn, it's an ocean of opportunities.
Yeah.
And you have everyone on LinkedIn, all the
Yeah.
profiles, all the professionals, from the intern to the CEO of all companies.
And it's there for that. So don't be shy.
Exactly. Oh, but some of them will not answer me. Yes. So what? Some of them will.
Yeah, exactly. It's so worth it. Like, so many clients, they're uncertain because they think of LinkedIn sometimes as they would social media, right? So like, oh, but I don't know this person. Is it weird? No, it's try to put it in a different box in your mind than Facebook. It's not the same. It's there for that. It is there for stranger interactions. It's there for those looking for opportunities, those advertising opportunities. They come together perfectly. So do not be shy. It is worth knocking on the doors.
Exactly. All right. So, since we are here talking about the approach with the hiring manager, what do you think would be a best practice, Shona?
So for me, there's two ways that you get in contact with it, or there's two reasons, should I say, two motivations to contact a hiring manager. One is because you are hoping to expand your connections. There's no live role. And the other is that you've seen the role, you've applied for the role. So those motivations are slightly different. So if you've applied for the role, it's by reaching out to say, I've just applied for the wonderful opportunity of marketing coordinator in your company. I've also connected to Sarah, responsible for recruitment, and I really hope to speak with both of you at a further date. Okay, so you're stating your interest. I'm in process. I hope I'm the right person. Then there's the other approach, which is, hi there, John. I'm a really passionate marketing coordinator with 5+ years of experience and currently specializing in SEO. I would absolutely love the opportunity in the future to join your team and would love to expand my connections with you. Here is my contact details. You're not selling yourself for a job. You're stating, someday, this is my motivation. I could be an interesting candidate for you. So for me, there are the two approaches. Another one would be is if you didn't manage to find out who the hiring manager is, which sometimes can happen in large companies. It's quite difficult. When you know who, oh yeah, very true. And before you interview is to make sure you always ask the recruiter, can you advise who I will be meeting with on the day? And then ensuring that you connect and reach out to everyone in advance, letting them know that you're really excited about meeting them next week for an interview. But they, for me, are the core motivations.
Very good. Danielle says, after reading carefully the job description, I'm checking if my resume fits it, stalking the company's page and the people on LinkedIn. I used to gather. It is a stalking. I know it is. It's a
little bit
professional stalking. Let's say it. Let's put like that, professional stalking. I used to gather.
We don't want anyone showing up at anyone's house, guys. We want to keep it here on LinkedIn.
No, and also not messaging Facebook or social media.
No,
never.
Absolutely no.
Okay? This is very personal. You don't reach out to recruiters on their personal social media.
No, it isn't. That's why I would put them two very different boxes.
Yeah. I used to gather my questions about job or the company and approach the recruiters, introduce myself and sharing my questions. Very good, Danielle. Depending on the conversation's flow, or suggest a call so we can discuss it in detail and maybe perform a pre-screening. So this, it's a very proactive way. I would it's easy. It's easier for engineers, IT, because it's full of jobs. Some candidates don't have this opportunity to suggest for a phone call, or so I would always give them the action of suggesting a phone call or pre-screening to the recruiter, right? So I don't really suggest you guys to ask for a pre-screening or interview call. Let the recruiter.
I would. Yeah.
Okay. Emerson says, I'm an engineer specialized in motor industry with experience automotive factories and leadership in after sales. I'm moving to Ireland with my family. I would love to meet up with headhunters and recruiters in this area. I'm Brazilian and my wife is Irish. Emerson, I have a bad news for you.
Yeah.
So
it's not the country. It's not the country for that industry, unfortunately.
The motor industry is not the industry, and the recruiters don't meet up, and
Yeah.
the headhunters, they don't meet up.
Yeah, no, it's
Unfortunately. So like if you print your CV and go to, let's say, Hayes or Michael Page or Sigma Recruitment or Morgan McKinley, which are the biggest recruitment agencies in Ireland, they will say, this is the name of the manager, call the manager and he will organize a meeting with you. They don't meet up. They will let you go.
Yeah, exactly. I think if they're engaged with your profile and after you've had a pre-screening and they'd like to meet with you, then that can certainly happen. But unfortunately, the opportunity to go on a networking, it doesn't exist. I would also say as well with the automotive, it just depends exactly the functionality, but Ireland wouldn't, they have dealerships, all right, but it's not, the automotive industry is not a booming industry in Ireland either. So it's maybe just something to look where your skills could fit into it from a sales perspective, yes, but just to be aware that it's definitely not one of our booming industries.
But again, because you're working after sales, you can always like get a remote job from a company in the mainland, like Germany, France. Why not?
Yeah.
So we have here Sarah, the recruiter. She's saying, yes, thank you. Receives many messages saying, I'm impressed by your career. And I know it's not true because the follow-up message is totally out of place. And all my colleagues are getting the same messages, good tailor-made notes, straight to the point, not pushy. It's what we are looking for. Polite introduction, who you are, what will you do, where you live, and what role are you looking for. Perfect.
Yeah, it's perfect.
That's it. That's what recruiters want, guys. Seriously. They don't want like fakeness. They hate fakeness. Like,
and they can smell it.
Yes, hi, I came across your profile. I'm really impressed by your career. I'm looking for a job in your company. Can you help me? No.
Yeah. It has to feel more authentic, because if the first interaction you have feels forced or feels like a copy paste, it's setting the tone for the rest of the relationship. So you've got to start it off on the right foot. The whole hiring process begins with that first interaction.
Yeah, and exactly as Sarah said, polite introduction. What is a polite introduction? Hi, my name is Tana. I have just moved to Dubai. I come from this and that industry with this and that experience, which is who you are, what you do, okay? What you really do. Like, I have experience, 8 years of experiencing, blah, 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 master's degree, MBA, whatever. What you live, where you live. Like, I just moved to Dubai, or I'm in Brazil. I'm trying to relocate to Dubai. And here's the time where you can say if you are open to pay for the relocation expenses. And what role are you looking for? I'm looking for that role that's open, or even if there is no live role, at least the team, or at least an area. Okay, so let's say you worked in customer service and administration, all right? That's a good one. You don't say, I'm looking for anything. Never looking for anything, guys. Please.
Don't sell yourself short. Don't sell yourself short.
You have to respect yourself. Position yourself as a good professional, as a high standard professional. So tell the recruiter which areas you are specialized in. So I am open to opportunities in administration or any client-faced jobs. Client-faced or customer-faced jobs could be a range of positions.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you've got to be strategic. Like, they're not going to take time to translate what they think you mean. You got to, as Sarah said, you got to get to the point politely.
Danielle said, view the recruiter's profile, react on their posts, and leave in comments. I already said that. So Camila said, should I ask the recruiter if the job company offers a visa sponsorship or even mention that I'm willing to relocate? What's your opinion, Sean?
So I wouldn't mention the visa until it comes up as a question, because you risk the recruiter saying no before they've even looked at your profile. Maybe there is flexibility with that sponsorship, but you have to entice them with your profile first. I also wouldn't mention the fact that you're willing to relocate. It's going to be on your CV in the top profile. If you are living internationally, it's going to be there. I would wait and engage the recruiter based on skill first. If the recruiter is keen and interested in your skill set, then what will follow naturally is, where are you? Are you willing to move? They're the questions that will come from the recruiter. So you don't need to lay out that information and possibly get a no before the conversation even starts.
Yeah, so what happens is, there are a strategy on LinkedIn that you can show up more in recruiter searches in a specific country, right? So when you change your country, do you know in your profile up there you add your city and your country? That is really important. Why? Because when the recruiter use LinkedIn to search, they choose the area, like geographically, they want to find candidates, which means they can choose, for example, Ireland. So that means will only come up talent, all right, professionals based in Ireland, or they can choose Europe, and then all Europe pool will come up in the search, which is a lot of people. So generally, what they do is like, oh, Ireland and the UK. Before it was the UK, they're not part of the EU anymore, so it's hard now. So Ireland or Belgium, or like countries nearby, all right, or like a country that are very targeted, that are very that are rich in Europe, like Germany or the Nordics, all right. So that means if you have your LinkedIn profile, Brazil, you're living Brazil, you will never come up in the recruiter search. Never, ever, ever, ever. Which means if you change to the country you're looking for the job, you will come up in the recruiter searches. But then the recruiter will ask where you're based at, where do you live?
Yeah.
And you cannot lie. Then you have to say the truth. You say, look, I'm leaving Brazil, currently looking for opportunities in Ireland or in Dubai, and I can relocate within 1 month. And then you can say if you're open to pay the relocation or not. But Shona is right. I wouldn't say anything until the point the recruiter asks. Yeah. Thais has here, good one, Camila. Is there a way to know about visa sponsorship in the job offerings? Is it usually written? Some positions, yes.
Yeah, sometimes we'll say only accepting EU applicants or something like that. And sometimes it's very clear, other times it's not.
Yes. And you have to understand as well, each country in Europe, it's different, have a different immigration law and rules, which means, for example, in Malta is part of the EU. If you go to Malta, if you get a job in Malta as a waitress or waiter, you can get a visa sponsorship as a waiter. In Ireland, it's forbidden. You cannot get a work visa as a waiter or waitress. Do you understand? In Poland, you can get a working visa as a waitress. Do you understand? So, for example, in Malta, if you're an engineer, you get a working visa. It's the same process, it's the same working visa. But in Ireland, you are like in a different category. You're a critical skills working visa, which means your visa will be like processed faster, way faster than others. You kind of cut the queue. So each country is different. You have to remember that Germany is super difficult to get a visa, a working visa.
Yeah.
Super, super difficult. And like in Ireland, you can pay for your application, you can pay for your working visa. But in Germany, Netherlands, France, the company pays for you.
Yeah.
So that means you cannot offer help.
Yeah. Yeah, you really have to do your homework, because if you were to go into a company in Germany and offer to pay, it would seem like you were really a rule breaker. It would set such a bad taste for the rest of the interactions. It's always important to know and understand what are the visa guidelines country to country to avoid any embarrassing interactions with a recruiter.
Exactly. So we have here James saying LinkedIn is a full of spam.
Yeah,
So that's true, actually. He's
it
right.
is.
So you have to tread carefully and be real and honest with your introduction and interactions with recruiters.
Yeah,
Excellent live,
very true.
ladies. Oh, thank you. I highly recommend
Thank
Tana.
you,
You're the
James.
best in the world. I love that.
Oh,
Love positive feedbacks. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We had cheating. We had loads of positive feedbacks this week. Thank
we
you,
did. It's
Jay.
such a pleasure to read them.
Yes. So here we have Lillian saying, amazing this issue. How many valuable tips? Thank you.
Thank you, Lillian.
And let me see. Oh, here. Is the cover letter still an important part of the application? That's a very good question, Kaya.
It is, absolutely, because the cover letter is such a funny thing, guys, because I imagine in a few years from now, it's probably going to be quite outdated depending on the industry. But it's still company best practice expectation to receive one, which means you are better to prepare one and send it and nobody reads it than don't prepare it and it feels then like an incomplete application. I would always say have a nice cover letter, very, very to the point, highlight your achievements, highlight your core skills and your motivation. Leave it there. Like I said, if it's read, great. If it's not, okay. But I would never say don't send it unless the job description says no cover letter required. That would be my
Oh,
feeling.
yeah. Yeah, if it's no cover letter required, I wouldn't send.
You don't have to. Yeah, no, same. Yeah.
But if there are if there is a space to send a cover letter, I would send yes. And
Yeah,
you can always use Chat GPT now.
totally. Yeah, totally.
So easy, so good. It helps so much. You can copy the job description, post there, then get your CV and write. Please write a cover letter for the job above using this curriculum, and then paste your curriculum and da 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 da. ChatGPT
Yeah.
writes your cover letter.
Yeah, it can really help. If you're unsure about how to get across a message in a very smooth or easy way, it's a really good way to help with language flow. But yeah, I think I personally like a cover letter. You know, everyone's going to have their own personal opinions, but I quite like it.
Yeah,
Oh,
we have.
Thais.
Yay!
Yay.
And so we have here a good question. Joyce Mary asked, how to approach recruiters when you are in a career transaction and don't have much experience? Very good question.
It is a very good question. I would say you've got to think about ways to add value to your gap on your CV, whether that is a period of time to look after your children, whether that is a period of time to travel, whether that was a period of time to study. I would say also be aware of how long it's been since you've been out of your industry and what has changed. And then you need to find ways to get there. So if I'm a marketeer and I've been out of my marketing for 5 years to have my babies, and then I'm coming back into the workforce, well, are these people still using Google Analytics? Okay, great. What else are they using? Okay, can I take a course about that? You've got to find ways to close a skill gap. So definitely know what's happened in your industry since you've stepped out and have a good explanation as to what you've been doing. And that can be traveling. Thankfully, companies' minds are open now. They are totally okay with people taking 2 years to see the world. It adds lots of value to a person's profile. But be ready. Have you developed a language and you skill? What is it you've done? And sell it in a way that's like, some women, it's like, oh, but I've just been at home minding my babies. That's really honorable. Say it in a way that gives value to you. I took some much needed time to develop my family. I'm so excited to step back into the workforce. I've learned this new technology. Can't wait to apply it every day. Give value to your break. Find out what's changed since you've been away, and then look at closing that skill gap.
Yeah. And if you have finished a master's or a course in a different area, all right? So you are from area A and you want to transition to area T, M, whatever. Totally different, right? Focus on your academic knowledge, your academic um, learnings. So I always add into my client's LinkedIn and resume the projects you have done during your course, your masters, the skills. So today I just finished a resume from a Mongolian client.
Amazing.
Yes, amazing, right? So she's been working as a waitress in Following Burn in Ireland. She's so cute.
Amazing place to work.
As a waitress. So, and she graduated in psychology back in her country, worked as a psychology assistant, and then a personal assistant of a CEO of company. And she just finished a master's degree in HR at National College of Ireland, a very good college in Ireland. And she wants to head into HR. So what I did in her resume and LinkedIn was to highlight her academic learnings.
Amazing. Yeah.
We added, like her final project. Yes, so that's how you highlight, like skills that you've learned. Focus on a career transition. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Bridge the gap.
Emerson is saying, in after sales, there are spare parts storage areas. Is there marketing in this area in Ireland? No.
No, it's not our area. When we look at after sales in terms of there's absolutely lots of show houses for cars and lots of the luxury brands. They do have, showrooms and sales, but it's not in terms of, I'm going to be really honest, Emerson, because it's an industry that we don't deal much in from a manufacturing perspective, and from Ireland being producers, it's not an industry. But what I might say is, if you want to give more of a detailed overview as to what it is that you've done in an email, I'm going to pop my email address here into the chat, and I can do a little bit of research for you. I'd be happy to. Yeah. But it's not an industry that is booming here. So I would need to do a bit of homework to be able to give you more detailed information. That's being honest.
Emerson, Ireland is an island. They don't produce cars.
No, manufacturing is not our area. Germany, France.
Iron manufacturing in Ireland is zero.
Yeah,
zero. There's no manufacturing cars in Ireland at all.
Yeah.
Because they are not going to manufacture a car and then ship to Germany, to the mainland. It's
yeah.
And
no, it's not our area.
All the cars we have in Ireland, they are actually imported. So they come from, now they're actually coming. A lot of second cars are coming from Japan.
Yeah. We've lots of sales reps for that industry. There's lots of sales roles available in showrooms, but anything beyond that, it's not the most interesting place for your skill set.
Yeah. So we have this one already. So will this life be saved? Yes. Do you have experience with travel industry in Central Europe?
It's my old industry, Laura. I was a sales manager for luxury travel. So if you can, my email address is there in the chat. If you want to send over more detailed question to me, I can come back to you personally and share some insights with you. I'd be happy to.
Very good. And that's Shona at storanicareers.com. Here we have another good question, actually.
I think Tana, we've just lost Tana on the screen there. Let me just continue on with some of those questions. Oh, Tana's coming back to us. There you are. I thought we lost you.
All right. So should I? Okay. So the questions now. Here. So is there a way to know about? No, I missed all the questions.
We're down here. Look, I'm planning to become an entrepreneur in IT outsourcing, focused in relocation and remote positions in EU for Brazilian professionals. Do you believe that Oopla, where has that question gone? Do you believe that applying for positions posted by recruiters is an interesting niche? I see lots of positions with restrictions for such activity. Let me just read that again in my head to make sure I understand that. I see, okay. So in this case, it would almost be acting like an independent career or recruitment consultant, if I understand that correctly. So it would be focused on...
Look,
so you would be
the problem in IT outsourcing, okay?
Yeah.
And he wants to bring talent from Brazil. It's totally possible, but you have to know where your company is based, how many people you can offer the sponsorship, and the supplying for recruitment is easy. Anyone could do it. You could do it.
Yeah.
But if it's an interesting niche, it depends on the technology. It depends what you're going to offer. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And to be aware that you'd be then stepping in as a competitor, I guess, to recruitment agencies in a lot of ways as well. So it's understanding your market to see, well, who is your competitive set?
Yeah.
It's an interesting question for sure. And we have one more that we skipped.
Shona, yeah, we skipped the question about the CV in PDF or Word.
Yeah, Word.
That was, yeah.
Yeah, if you are applying to any online mass application, we're thinking Indeed, LinkedIn, anything like that, anything where your CV is not going straight to the recruiter, you want to be submitting it in Word because it's the easiest possible format for the ATS system to read. The only time really you should be using the PDF version is if you're in direct communication. So imagine I'm the recruiter and I'm like, hey there, I found your profile. It looks amazing. Here's my email address. Can you send me the most updated version of your CV? Then you can send your PDF because you're not going through the robots. Then you're going straight to the decision maker.
Exactly. Or even through email and LinkedIn.
Yes, exactly.
Straight to the recruiter. But if you're sending through a software, the software could be any. LinkedIn, SAP, Workplace, what's JobVite, Monster, our jobs. All this job boards, they are linked to a ATS.
Exactly.
It could be SAP, it could be any, all right? And then the robot will pre-screen your resume, and sometimes because your resume is in PDF or a format that's not ATS friendly, as they say, all right, you are, like your resume comes up blanked, all white.
Yeah, or pixelated, but unreadable, totally unreadable, and you've lost your shot then. So Word is always safer, always.
Exactly. Shona, I think we are done.
We did it.
Yes,
we kept it to the hour.
Almost 10, like 2 minutes to 10. We answered all the questions.
We're getting better every week, guys. We're getting better.
And I promised Shona that I wouldn't talk as much.
Tana, we love the sound of your voice. Don't worry. We did it though. We did it within an hour. And thank you for we've had such great interactive audiences the last couple of weeks with lots of great questions. So thanks so much for staying engaged and sending us over some lovely questions.
Yes, thank you very much, everyone. Tarcísio, he's one of the followers. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for being here. Thanks, guys. Amazing.
And we see you next Monday.
Yes, I did a lot of headhunting for technology companies. Do you work with this kind of service? No, we don't. We don't do headhunting. Never, ever in my life again. I hate headhunting.
Those days are finished.
Now we help
we're on your team now.
Thank you, Glaucia. Thank you, Luciana. Thank you, Danielle.
Thanks so much, guys. Have a great start to the week.
Bye.
See you next week. Bye.